Biden has been warned. A bunch of liberal columnists are urging the president to boot Kamala off the ticket. But the Veep's insane cheerleaders in the press are threatening to take down his campaign if he does it.
I would be very careful, President Biden, about getting rid of Kamala Harris because we will not support you. What? If Biden gets rid of Kamala Harris and inserts someone else, he will lose the black vote.
I don't want to white-splain, but you might be underestimating the black community voter.
I don't think I am.
I think some of the soft bigotry is showing in the progressives. Women always have to work harder than men. I don't have to tell you two that. But a woman of color with power, I think she's threatening.
But Joe may have no choice because top Democrats keep throwing her under the bus.
Is Vice President Kamala Harris the best running mate for this president?
He thinks so, and that's what matters. And by the way,
you think so?
She's very politically astute.
You think she is the best running mate, though?
She's the Vice President of the United States. So people say to me, well, why isn't she doing this or that? I said, because she's the Vice President. That's the job description. You don't do that much.
What do you make of Speaker Pelosi's answer there?
I mean, there didn't seem to be anything wrong with that answer. That's President Biden's choice, and I think she's an excellent running mate for President Biden.
Okay. Shannon, would you like to white-splain the issue here? If she does not appear on the ticket, will black voters abandon the Biden campaign?
I don't know, but there's polling showing they have been in some ways because they don't think he's delivered on a lot of things that they were hoping he would deliver on. So that's probably his bigger problem. But when I heard about this, I thought about, do you guys remember getting this memo, August of 2020, called We Have Her Back? It was before she was named to the ticket, but her name was, she's probably or possibly going to be the VP. And it was a memo from all of these groups to the heads of news divisions saying, we're watching everything that you do. Oh. Don't use pictures of women that look angry. Don't talk about them being ambitious as a negative thing. Don't talk about their appearance. Don't stereotype. And it goes on in here to say, we know you've been working in your newsrooms for diversity, and so we're going to hold you to account in the way that you cover her. This new thing gives me very much shades of, we're watching you, and if you get this wrong, we're going to call you out.
It's like the impeachment threat that they sent to the news chiefs. Greg, that was a kiss of death by Nancy. I don't know if Kamala's going to be too happy.
Yesterday, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently confronted Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This is according to the Washington Post. She was accusing her of supporting terrorists, kind of getting in her face. And we've seen a bit of a habit of this sort of thing from Greene, stunts like this in the past. You know, she was asked to wear a mask in the hallway, refused, prompting Congresswoman Cori Bush to relocate offices after a heated exchange between those two. Greene also posted that anti-transgender sign outside her office, which is located just across the hall from a congresswoman whose daughter is transgender. This just all seems mean-spirited. What is her goal?
To raise money, to have notoriety, to be the go-to person on that wing of the Republican Party, and to be a force to be reckoned with because of the fact that she is using so many of these stunts to raise money, to raise small dollar donations in order to say, look, I'm a powerhouse. And it is really, really stunning as somebody who walked the halls of Congress on a regular basis, on and off for 2 decades, Anna, the fact that we have this kind of vitriol between members. Now, I know, back before both of us were born, way before, there was caning and all kinds of things that happened when people got their backs up. But, in recent years, and for the most part, there is a general sense of comity with a T, and that is so out the window now because it's lowest common denominator politics and fundraising, and that is such a prime example of it.
I just can't imagine a colleague treating anyone around here like that, right? Even if you just don't agree on something, no one would ever be so disrespectful and unkind.
House Republican. Hi friends, it's Tisha Barlow, and you saw 2 segments today, 2 portions of the segment. One was from Fox. They talked about Kamala Harris, and what did they say? Kamala Harris does nothing as a VP. We're going to talk more about that because I'm a black woman living in the United States, and I've got 2 kids, and I have a law degree. I practiced law for 18 years, but guess what? I was involved in politics too. I wanted to run for office as well. I never got that far because I had a choice between having children or having a political career. Kamala Harris does not have any children, and the media, the liberal media, do not want Black people to know this. Kamala Harris is a professional career woman, okay? Her father was born in Jamaica. They're under the British system. Her father is extremely educated. He's a college professor at Stanford. Stanford are one of those liberal schools. He's extremely liberal. So Kamala Harris was raised by a very liberal family. And the irony of everything is that back in the days in the 70s, Jamaica was like obsessed with like Cuba and Castro. So a lot of Jamaicans, including Kamala Harris' father, which I assume a lot of Jamaicans migrated. At the time, my parents didn't migrate, they stayed. They knew that 1600 churches, Castro will never take over, and they knew that America is too close for Castro to take over Jamaica. But a lot of Jamaicans freaked out and they moved on. They went to America. I believe that's the time Kamala Harris' father migrated. But I'm just telling you, a lot of Jamaicans migrated in the 70s to the United States because they were afraid of socialism. The irony is that Kamala Harris was born in the United States to a Jamaican parent and a Western Indian. So she's Indian, she's mixed with Indian and Black, okay? And some other mixed. So she's a very unique person and a very powerful woman, and she has no children. So that's the scary part, because I'm here right now getting ready to cook. I have kids. After I come out with this, I'm going to do it behind the scene. I got ready to be a mother. I got to get ready to be a mother. I have 9-year-old twins that I've got to raise in the United States. It's not easy. Now, we saw CNN, Dana Bash, talking about Marjorie Green. Marjorie Green, on the other hand, she is about 49 years old. She has 3 children in the United States, okay? Prior to being a politician, Marjorie Green was a mom. So this is different. It's personal for her because America owes $33 trillion. Kamala Harris has no kids that's going to inherit that. I've got kids that's going to inherit that debt. I'm a grand aunt, okay? I'm 47 years old. I have a 3-month-old granddaughter. So you've got to understand that I want to just, there are tears in my eyes to know that big government is about climate change and they're doing nothing about the $33 trillion. And we here in America just having up the kids and trying to have a family and knowing that someday we're going to go on, we're going to leave this earth, and we're leaving our kids in a worse position than we had it. And that's because we are now, give me now, power. What did I tell you about power? Power corrupt the absolute mind. I didn't say that. That's what they have been saying over the years. But power is a worse drug than morphine. So Kamala Harris is addicted to power, and she did anything she could to get there. And now there's a fallout between Kamala Harris and Biden. That's the rumor. That's why her husband is saying, do not drop her off the tickets. You know, but she had done nothing. And I don't know about you, but there's no job in the United States where you can do nothing and get a check, except for government because they owe $33 trillion. So for Nancy Pelosi to come on television and say, well, she's vice president, so she doesn't have to do anything. I'm like, which job in this world do I get paid for doing nothing? Nancy Pelosi, I've been working for 28 years. If I do not work, I do not get paid. So for you to say, of course, the vice president does nothing. She's getting a check. She's got to do something. Come on. Let's go on to AOC and Marjorie Green, because that's what CNN was talking about. Dana Bash Marjorie Green. And, you know, that's the thing with the liberal media. They are so powerful. They forgot the internet is real. And a lot of us right-wing or conservatives are going to go ahead and we're going to take a job too. Conservatives used to control radio. Looks like we're going to have part of the internet. Yay! So AOC versus Marjorie Green. Apparently there was a rustful, and that's typical in politics. You know, Dana Bash said that she she was in politics 20 decades, and now she's in private practice, and they're corporations that are for profit, and politics is different. They're saying that you cannot do that in private sector, and they're correct. You cannot mistreat someone in private sector. But this is public, Dana. Public sector. Public is a lot different. Politicians tend to jab at each other because that's how they are politicians. They are passionate about what they believe. And Marjorie Green is passionate about family. Okay? AOC is passionate about climate change, even though it's not real. We all know the world is not coming to an end because of climate change. We all know that. Read the book of Revelation. Climate change is not something that our government should put as the number one priority when we owe $33 trillion and we're raising children in the United States. I want to be cooking, cleaning, and worrying about how we're going to get them into college. So AOC, you so far have no kids. I don't know if you're going to have any or you're going to take the same route where you are, a powerful political leader. But either way, I'm saying that Kamala Harris is clueless about what's going on in this world because she doesn't have any children. She's very career focused, and I've got to tell you, for her to get that far, you had to sacrifice something. And not all of us are willing to sacrifice family to get ahead. Some of us believe that our calling in life is to have a family. So AOC and Marjorie Green, they are politicians and they're gonna do that